Do you ever get tired when your friends are like, hey,
you want to go sniff glue on Saturday?
doesn't that sound like a lot of fun to go sniff glue? Like the good old days, like we always used to sniff glue. Do you want to go do that? And then you're over there like, no, I want to better my life. I want to read some books. I want to become the best version of me that I can possibly be. And then when you tell them that, they look at you and they go,
bro, who are you even more?
You've changed, bro. And then you might feel guilty or you might not. In this video, I'm going to show you the #1 personality trait that will allow you and really change your life forever. But this is the one personality trait that will allow you to attract your dream life and anything you want. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. My eyes also go really big when I do that because it emphasizes that change even more. So in today's video, I'm just kidding. So today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you the truth on the #1 personality trait that changes everything. Okay, you guys ready for this? This is next level stuff. Honestly, real talk right now, this video I think has the potential to completely change your life if you actually apply what I'm going to be giving you, a prescription in this video towards transforming your life. It's what I did, went from being in this 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes to then doing what I love full time, from having ADHD to still having ADHD, but being able to focus really well. No, I'm just kidding, I don't have ADHD anymore. I let go of that part of my identity, and I haven't taken Adderall since 2012. Many of you know the story if you've been watching my videos, but for those of you that are new, this is my story. Yay! So another aspect of that is feeling unworthy because of the past, and having that really weigh down and attracting the same situations over and over again, to then changing and being able to have a completely new reality where you feel 100% worthy, whole, and complete. So anything that you are experiencing that is more negative, that you don't prefer to experience, it's because it's a program. It's a program. It is wired into your sense of identity, and you think it's a part of who you are. So here is the thing that changes everything when you become aware of it. Now, first off, I used to back in the day, I would make videos and I would wait for a while to get to the point. I'm not gonna do that today. The one personality trait, but I promise you it's a very powerful video. So yeah, I'm gonna lead with that. So personality creates your personal reality. First off, so if you wanna change your life, you have to change your personality. Now the #1 trait that is going to completely transform your life is if you realize that your personality, one, it's not permanent. Personality, not permanent. It is flexible. Your personality is flexible. You can change at any moment. Now think about this. When people go, and what they do is they go to a party, they drink a little bit of liquid courage, then they have all this courage, which is already within them, by the way. All they did was release it and give themselves permission, let go of the filter and give themselves permission to feel it. And then what happens is they give themselves, that's normally a shy person, may give themselves permission to then be this fun-loving, outgoing person. What happened there? Well, their personality was flexible because when they are on alcohol, they allow themselves to be this new, unfiltered version of themselves. So we already know that if people are inebriated, if they are inebriated, then they're flexible. Knees are flexible. Okay, I'm using metaphors in this video. So if you want to change any part of your life, this is the other aspect of it. The current story that you think is permanent, you tell yourself, I'm a shy person. I just attract these type of chicks or these type of guys. It's a part of my personality. Or you say, well, I can only attract this type of money. I'm just not abundant. Well, guess what? Your personality is not permanent. It's flexible. So you can change that at any moment. Now, here's the thing that keeps so many people stuck. What keeps them stuck is they believe it's permanent. They think, act, and feel the same way over and over and over again. So if you think a certain way, you act a certain way, and you feel a certain way, you're going to continue to create the same reality over and over and over and over again. And then what'll happen is you'll be in that, it'll become your comfort zone. And you'll say, well, this is very comfortable. This just feels so comfortable. And then eventually what you realize is you're gonna say, well, it's really hard to change because I wanna be this like better version of me that's attracting more money and more love and is in like this certain state, but it just doesn't feel natural. Well, the reason it doesn't feel natural is simply because this old way of thinking, acting, and feeling, this old identity is in a comfort zone. It has become so familiar that it just seems natural. It seems like that's who you are. But here is the thing. What I promote, what I want to help people do is to break out of that box, to break out of that sense of identity and to realize you are so much more than who you have priorly thought and believed and labeled yourself to be. And think about it. There's some books out, maybe you've heard of it. It's called, what's it called? It's called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And what it talks about is how everything is based on agreement. At a certain point in our past, we were acting, feeling, or thinking a certain way. And then what happened is someone said something to us or we just agreed. Yes, this is who I am. I at one point had ADHD. And what happened was then I was feeling like I just had all this energy. I was expressing it at that 9-to-5 job, selling women's shoes. And then people, because my personality came out a little bit later in life. Maybe I'm overcompensating now by using my eyes really big because for a long time I couldn't really do that. Because many of you know my story from 7 to 15 years old, I had that ex-step moment in my life where I had no freedom at all. And I wasn't allowed to have friends, wasn't allowed to, really I almost had no freedom at all, had to earn going to school. So 15 years old comes around, all of a sudden, my dad divorces her. My brother and I are allowed to have friends again. I'm allowed to have I start to develop a personality. And then I start having all this energy. And people are like, whoa, where'd all this energy come from? Then what happens is I have that 9-to-5 job and people are like, oh, it's like hard for me to focus sometimes. A lot of times it was. And then what happened is they'd say, oh, you have ADHD. And then I go to a doctor and the doctor said, oh, you have ADHD. Here's Adderall. Then I took Adderall, which had very harsh side effects. Now, the thing was, is I agreed that this is true for me. And I've seen many other people, somebody, for example, that's in one of my, in some of my coaching programs, she was told that she would never walk again. She was told you're going to live in a wheelchair the rest of your life. If she would have agreed to what the doctor told her because she had a certain type of disease or a certain type of illness that affected her spine and her ability to walk, she wouldn't be walking right now. But what she did is she did one of my meditations, and that meditation broke her out of her identity. And when that happened, she then found that she was then able to walk again. She still had to work at it. It wasn't like she just came out of the meditation, just started running around. But she had to work at it, and it was in a new possibility, a new potential. She then realized, wait, this story, not even this story, this reality is flexible. I don't have to agree to what this doctor tells me. So in the same way, here's that identity, that self-image. The self-image is controlling your life experience. The thing I want to ask you is, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as worthy of love? Do you see yourself as are easily abundant? Or do you think it's hard? What are your stories about this? What are your stories about who you are? And if you believe that who you are is fixed, then your life will be very hard to change. And many successful people have been asked, or one trait that many successful people have is that they are very adaptable and that they believe things can change. They believe that they can make a difference through their intention, through their focus, through their identity of themselves. Think about this as well. People are responding to you based on how you see yourself. So if you see yourself as a 76-degree type person, then what will happen is you're gonna exude 76-degree out energy and 76-degree out body language and 76-degree out eye contact. And then other people are gonna respond to you in that way and you're gonna go, yeah, I'm a 76-degreer. But then what will eventually happen is if you try to go up to 80 degrees, it'll feel a little bit unnatural for a while. You may feel a little bit more timid and you may feel a little more vulnerable. Then somebody will look at you and go, you're not an 80-degreer, you're a 76er. Go back to your place. And you're gonna be like, yeah, you're right. And then it's like, okay, this is comfortable again. I can agree to this. But the key is knowing that it is flexible. If you tune yourself to an 80-degree, you may get for a certain period of time a reflection back in life where people doubt you, where you get these reflections back that maybe part of you doubts yourself. But you gotta remember, you can change. And the way you change is by becoming aware of what your current temperature is. Do you view yourself as lazy? Do you view yourself as not worthy? Do you view yourself as hard to attract money, hard to attract love? If so, then what you got to do is change that image. It's just an image anyways. And the way that you do this, by the way, is you challenge your current self-image. You challenge it. So this current identity to the new identity. So your current identity as a story. And the key is that your story about love, money, relationships. The key to this is unbecoming this current identity by questioning it and seeing how and when you agreed to it. If you're shy, there's nothing wrong with being an introvert, by the way, but it's just being aware of these stories. If you find yourself in social situations just completely uncomfortable, then there's something there that you can begin to integrate. Now, the other part of this, though, is be aware of your stories about money, love, what you're worthy of, and then realize once you become aware of it, is then a lot of times you realize that it's not really you, it's not really natural. Then what you can do is realize that you can then be this new version of you. Imagine the future version of you. How does the future version of you, maybe it's the 80-degree version of you, how does that version of you think, feel, and act? How do you carry yourself? What kind of books you read? What's your morning routine like? Now imagine that version of you and realize it already exists. If you can imagine it, it already exists. There's this light that's kind of poking on me right now, and I kind of want to move, but I almost don't have the video. Okay, there we go. So just be this version of you. Now, the bridge to this is going to be what you do. What you do is a part of your identity. You always act equal to the way you see yourself. When I started making daily videos on YouTube, that was me bridging my reality of 9-to-5 job, not doing what I like, selling women's shoes, to then doing what I love, which I had to then do it, and do it not because of what it'll get me, do it because it's who I am. If you want to become an artist, the moment you start is the moment you are it. You are an artist. It's not like you have to do it for 7 years and then you're an artist. Do it and see it as a part of your identity. So bridge it and get out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is how you think, feel, and act. Is on autopilot. You do the same things, you feel the same emotions, and you think the same way, you're going to get the same result. But if you do an act of something that breaks you out of your comfort zone, you're going to begin to become free. This is what we call a stretch experience. Do something you've never done before that breaks you out of your old identity. I used to tell myself a story that it is hard for me to make videos in front of other people. When I started making YouTube videos, I lived at my dad's house, and I'd be nervous because I'd be like, well, my dad's he probably thinks the stuff I'm talking about weird, and I'd be in the backyard. You want to know how I broke that? I created a stretch experience. I got out of my comfort zone and realized this old Aaron that really cares what people think isn't natural. It's not really who I am. So what I did is I went to the Las Vegas Strip. I took that of like this thing that I was walking around with, like a little selfie stick, and I walked from like the Bellagio. I walked through malls. I walked inside through stores, talking to that of the wearing headphones, but I was talking to the video. I was talking to the camera, and I was talking about like esoteric, weird stuff that I was worried people were going to judge me for. After I did that for probably about 45 minutes. After I did that, I was like, I got nothing to worry about. Most people only care about themselves. They only focus on themselves. But secondly, it just doesn't matter. I am the creator. I am the star of my own movie. I'm not the cameo trying to make everyone else happy, and I want to fit in their comfortable little spot. So create an experience that takes you out of your comfort zone, and you will expand your personality. But the most powerful way to transform your life is as well to imagine the best possible version of you, the future version of you. How do you think, feel, and act? What is your daily activities like? What is your daily routine like? Your morning routine like? What kind of books do you read? And then simply decide that that is you now. And then begin to create reference experiences, bridge it by what you do, and decide this is who I am now. Find one thing you could do every single day that'll change your life the most if you do it every day. That's what I did with YouTube videos. That's why my life has transformed so much. But the most important thing you got to remember is that your personality is completely flexible. That's it. Once you realize that, your whole entire life will begin to change. Now, if you want a meditation for changing your self-image, it's one of the most powerful meditations I've ever made. It's in the top of the description box below, or it's at this end card right here. Listen to this for 21 days. Watch how it transforms your life. Okay, with that being said, as always, I'll see you on the next video. Peace, much love, and namaste.